Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Gwinnett Business Radio. Mike Salmon alongside Stephen Julian. Hello, Stephen.
Hey, Mike. Are we practicing our dramatic pauses today?
I just want to make sure I pronounce everything correctly.
You did fantastic.
Beautiful,
as always.
Beautiful rainy monsoon going on here in Atlanta.
How's Sally treating you?
We are inside the beautiful Subaru of Gwinnett studio and the nice and dry and warm Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. And we have a couple guests today.
We have some fantastic guests. I can't wait to talk to them. So let's get to it.
Molly Thompson is here. She is the community director with the Highlands at Sweetwater Creek. And Oren is a physical therapist with Rebalansing Health.
Wow. So you had dramatic pause, and then there's a dramatic draw out of the name.
Yeah.
Are you trying to, you're like going to do their commercials. I can imagine that. Come to Rebalansing Health.
Yes.
But we'll get to that in a second. That was a good tease.
All right. Molly Thompson, Highlands at Sweetwater Creek.
Hi there.
You have no idea what you got yourself into this morning, did you?
I don't know.
You're like, what have I done now? You're the community director. This is an apartment complex in the city of Duluth.
Correct. It's brand new. We're currently under construction, expecting first apartments to be moved into the middle of November, and they're gorgeous.
All right. So they're called the Highlands at Sweetwater Creek. What can we expect? What are we going to be seeing?
So it's such a unique property. It's sat out on 30 acres of meadowland, and there's going to be a 1.5 mile walking trail. So it's so far back from the street. It's like a private oasis when you pull into the community.
So there are plenty of apartment complexes in the Gwinnett area. They've been around for a long time, and there's always been kind of new construction. What for somebody that maybe hasn't seen a new place like Sweetwater Creek, what's been different? What are some of the upgrades? What are some of the new things people can expect from the actual apartment complexes?
Well, the whole complex is absolutely beautiful. So again, it's set on a lot of land, which you never find that anymore in new construction. And then the interior of the apartment homes are absolutely perfect. There's 2 different unit finishes. There's white cabinetry, and then there's also a gray cabinetry with Baja white granite. They all have resilient style flooring. And they're just upgraded. They're brand new.
And you talked about the space being 30 acres. Mm-hmm. Is that how much more is that than a typical, or a lot of apartment complexes like, that's half the, a lot of them are half the size.
Oh, a lot of them are a quarter of the size.
so not, and they're not taking that 30 acres and cramming as many buildings into it. They're
no, it's all open
space.
land. So
nice.
it's a great place to exercise, to just hang out, have a picnic, walk, and just be in a quiet environment.
I like it.
I apologize because Steve and I were saying apartment complexes, and I'm sure they're called apartment home communities.
That's right. I messed it up.
Yes.
Dadgummit.
So, but talk about some of the amenities we'll find there. That's the thing I love the best.
Well, the clubhouse itself, so you drive into the property and you see the office. You have to physically drive further back to see the actual community. And back there is where there's going to be a clubhouse that has 3 different weight training rooms. There's a weight training, cardio, yoga spin room that overlooks the swimming pool. And the swimming pool is salt water. It's in this beautiful courtyard. It'll be landscaped magnificently. And then you've got the 1.5 miles of trails with a pooch park. We have 2 of them for small and large dogs and a paw spa. So it's beautiful.
When it's fully completed, how many units are we talking about?
There's a total of only 290.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So intimate.
It's very intimate.
In a large space.
And when you said pooch park, you're talking about pets like dogs, not like our pooch around our stomach here.
Yes,
this little
dogs,
big area
dogs.
here. Okay.
Big and small, we love them all.
So we can walk that trail and get rid of the pooch that we have around our stomach.
Yeah,
a mile
you can
and
do
a half
that
trail.
too.
We can get rid of our pooch while we're walking our pooch.
Swim in the saltwater pool, go through the different. Man, they really are trying to get rid of your pooch, Mike.
Typically 6-month, 1-year leases. Is that how it works? And
so right now
it's
a 13-month lease because we're offering some incredible incentives.
Okay.
So right now, if you went ahead and leased an apartment, you would get half off your first 2 months and a $500 gift card.
Now, the rumor mill, and it's not really a rumor mill because anyone that drives by this location, if they've lived in Gwinnett for any amount of time, know that you're being built on what used to be a 9-hole golf course.
That is correct.
So just a silly question. I know that there's a lake that was on that golf course. How many golf balls were excavated out of the lake before you guys
that would be a question for construction, and I have no idea.
I think you should do a contest and have people guess how many golf balls.
That's a good idea.
There you go. Free marketing from Business RadioX.
Well, guess how much, but how would you know how many are actually in there?
Well,
You'd have
that's
to
the
scoop 'em all
construction.
out?
Well, the construction. I'm sure they have been excavated. Like she said, you'd have to ask construction. I think you should talk to your construction guys, and you should come up with a. And by the way, before I take any kind of credit, that came from our producer Amanda Pierce.
This is the par 3 golf course that used to be
It
a par
was.
3 golf course, right off Satellite Boulevard. So talk about your location and what people, the stores and everything, and the shopping and everything that's around that location. It's a great area.
It really is a great area. There's so many different restaurants. I mean, just driving around, I see, here's Thank You Chicken. I've never eaten there. Let me try that place. And then you've got something as nice as Papa Do's just around the corner. So there's definitely a lot of places to pick from and things like that.
It's also right down the street from Children's Healthcare. So,
That's true.
I mean, yeah, fantastic.
right around the corner from Business RadioX.
Oh, come on. Now, so you talked about the workout rooms, and a lot of times in other apartment communities, especially some that are older, they don't necessarily have as many amenities. But beyond just exercise, you guys are also going to have a coffee bar and a work share. Talk about that.
Yeah, in the club room, so there's like a work share space. It's just an open sort of gathering room that's got a coffee bar that'll be outlined, and you can just kind of escape from your apartment if you need to get out because you're tired of working at home. You can just walk down the hallway and set up shop and do things there.
And also potentially, I guess you could also, if you're meeting a client, you don't want to have them come to the apartment, you can meet in the work share space. So it's, community place, workout place, pooch parks, pool. What are we? Is there anything we're missing? I can't think of anything that we're missing.
The 1.5 mile trail is what just blows me away. It's absolutely beautiful because the meadow's been professionally landscaped, and it's just really pretty.
I like how you said it. Like it's almost like an oasis, like you said, because it is back off the road.
And being that far off the road as well. If anyone knows that satellite area, I used to play that course, and you get back there, and it's. You're not hearing the traffic.
No, you don't. And we even see deer running through the meadow and all these ducks that come flying in, or geese or whatever you want to call them. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're like at a...
It's a deeply wooded area, and you're also not going to run up right against another a community or right up against some of the business parks that are around here. You're going to be kind of nice and secluded back there.
Steven, you've played that course, you said.
I have.
How many times have you played that? Did you play that course?
I played it a dozen times or so.
Really? All right. I'm just in my head kind of figuring it out. I'm going to add 100 golf balls to the number that are in that lake.
No, I would go in. I'd wade in and get. But come on.
Really?
As frugal as I am.
As frugal as you are, you actually
I'm going to take my shoes off and go.
Balls.
I would. My score on those rounds were: did I come out with more golf balls than what I came in with? Because I went looking through the woods.
I got you. Well, Molly, again, it's Highlands at Sweetwater Creek. You're the community director. What does your position entail? What do you have to do every day?
So I take care of everything and support our residents that'll be moving in soon and our leasing team. We've got Larry, who's our relocation specialist. He's ready and able to help immediately. And then Deja, who's the assistant manager, who's also there, ready and able to help.
And with those great kind of facilities that you have, open space, and where I would imagine as community director, there are some community events that might be on the horizon.
Oh, absolutely. We will host all kinds of resident events. And we do things now just for people that want to stop in and we have a sip and tour, or we had lemonade day. We do a lot of fun things.
I wonder if this work space is big enough, meeting area is big enough. I wonder there are opportunities for local business owners who might be looking for a space that might be a conversation.
Absolutely, that would be a definite conversation. Yeah. We would love to host something for someone.
Ooh, right, there we go. So we've given you a marketing message, and now I'm getting you. We'll get you connected with local business owners.
Yeah.
Man, we just give. Now that's the proper use of the bell.
So, again, it's called Highlands at Sweetwater Creek, and you're at the phase now where you're pre-leasing?
We are pre-leasing, absolutely. And we have hard hat tours that we can offer, take you around the community, show you everything we've got and what's coming. So it's ready to be seen.
And scheduled opening would be again?
So again, we're open. Our office is open, and
as
our
far
first
as
move-ins will be at the middle of November.
Middle of November, right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Unless this monsoon continues, then.
So if you're looking for a good Christmas present, if you're not liking the apartment community you're in, there's a brand new one.
You want to kick somebody out of your house?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. If you have some older children that it's time for them to get on their own, right? Is that?
Exactly.
That's a potential.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Seriously. Yeah, Molly, can we talk after the show? I think I already got someone for you. Let's find out more about Molly Thompson. How did you get to where you are today? How did you end up with this community?
So I've been in the industry for over 15 years at this point, and I've overseen lots and lots of new construction. And I was recruited to come and take care of this one, and it was just so beautiful. I couldn't say no. So
they recruited you.
Yes.
So you must be pretty good at what you do.
I think so.
What's the secret to being a good community director?
Just caring about people, for sure.
Wait a minute.
Wow, that's good. Molly
Good
got the bell. Got the bell ring. That's good. And because right, I mean, you're talking about a community. It's more than just a place to live. You're truly trying to kind of take that next step and know your neighbors.
Know
a little
your
bit.
neighbors,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Take care of people.
And sometimes you need somebody to help kind of put events together so you're able to get to know your neighbors.
So just like Business RadioX, trying to bring people together, trying to help people take the next step in a relationship. I mean, we talk about one of the things we do in this show is we put people in the same room and interview them and
put people together.
That's the secret sauce, right? So I like it. Very good.
So you pair people together, Molly. That's what you do. You're like
part
a
of
dating
it.
expert or something. No.
I don't know about that one.
With only 200 and something units, you said, right?
290 apartment
So
homes.
it's still a very intimate group, and and once you fill those units, Molly doesn't go away. Does Molly stick around for a while?
I will stick around for as long as they want me.
And 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. all
1,
available?
2, and 3 bedroom apartment homes, and then we also have townhomes that'll be available in March.
What about
Nice.
square footage wise, about size wise?
So as far as square footage goes, the 1 bedrooms range, they start right around 700 square feet and go all the way up to about 850. The 2s are really spacious as well. Those are they start at 1,112 square feet. And then go up to 1,169 square feet. And then the 3 bedrooms are at 1,141.
Nice.
Are there garages or storage sheds, things like that?
There is additional storage that's available. There's no garages, but there is plenty of parking, so no one has to worry about coming home and not being able to find a spot.
It's such a beautiful area. Why would you want to put your car in a garage? Just enjoy the outdoors.
For the car.
I'm trying. Yeah, your car will be happy. It's such a great
Some
space.
people like garages. That's good.
Well.
And you mentioned, did you say townhomes or something? What did you say there at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 3 bedroom townhomes,
So
and those will be available to be moved in March.
When we see townhomes, we're talking like 2 floors?
2 floors, 3 bedrooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
And of course those are only rentable, right?
Right.
So we're not
Right.
talking about those being private property.
Right.
I like
Can't
it.
buy one, huh?
Yeah,
No.
There's plenty of places to go buy a townhome. This is for if you want to live and be in a great community and enjoy everything a lot more amenities than you would get just
And
buying
have a
townhome.
maintenance team that can take care of everything for you. You don't have to worry about it.
Come on.
Yep. No
Come
yard
on.
to worry about.
I'm
No
hooked.
yard
I'm
to
in.
worry
I'm in. Let's go.
Yep. We're selling the house tomorrow.
Or well, let's let her really give the location and where people need to go and
Yeah,
what
one
they
more
need to
time.
do.
So we're located right off of Satellite Boulevard, right south of Boggs Road, and we're directly across the street from Children's Health Care. So the location's 2789 Satellite Boulevard, and our website is Highlands at Sweetwater Creek. Find pricing, floor plans, take a look at everything we have to offer, and make an appointment and come in and take a hard hat tour.
Can they make that appointment online or do they need to call?
They can do both.
Okay.
Yep.
So the phone number would be?
The phone number is 770-599-7334.
Molly, thank you so much. Great stuff. Again, it's the Highlands at Sweetwater Creek in Duluth, Georgia. If you're looking for that next place to call home, it's a beautiful apartment home community, and we're going to have to take a little hard hat tour.
I think we might have to take a hard hat tour, and then if depending on when people listen to this, if they're already open, hopefully in November of 2020, past that, there won't be a hard hat tour. Now you can just go look at the actual apartments.
Yeah.
Great. Molly, thank you for coming in and sharing all the great information.
Thank you.
Mike, before we get to our next guest, I just want to remind everybody that Gwinnett Business Radio does come to you live and also after live through our favorite podcast and streaming channels from the Subaru of Gwinnett studios. Love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Enjoy big savings and a hassle-free experience at Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join their family today, or come in and see the difference. If you're already a Subaruist, then make sure you check out their website and their Facebook page and all their social media pages for the latest news, offers, and community events.
All right, Stephen, our very next guest here on Gwinnett Business Radio is Oren Barr. He's a physical therapist with Rebalansing Health.
You way to keep that up. Good job.
Yeah, I wish the marketing person was here. They could have that could be like all their commercials. Come to Rebalansing Health. She is here. Hi, Alexis. How are you? Good to see you.
That was the Rebalancing.
Oren, welcome to our program.
Well, thank you for having me.
And again, Oren is like, what did I get myself into? At least Molly, she can relax now. She's all done. But Oren Barr, physical therapist, Rebalancing Health. Tell us all about your practice, please.
All right. Well, I'm a physical therapist, but I specialize in treating chronic pain. And Rebalancing Health is it's a manual therapy, physical therapy place. So I use my hands. I don't have a gym. It's not a gym setup. There's no medications. There's no modalities. A lot of physical therapy places have, the ultrasound machine and the hot packs and the cold packs, and I don't have any of that. It's manual therapy focused, and it's just a very unique approach to treating chronic pain.
So that unique approach is because you just laid out what it's not, and
Yes.
everybody's going, well, that's all that I've experienced when I've dealt with my chronic pain. So what's going to make this different? What is someone going to go through when they come into Rebalancing Health?
All right. So the basic premise is that most physical therapy addresses the body as devoid of the brain. It's like separate from the brain. And all the joints and the muscles and the skin and everything is all connected to a brain. It's connected to a person. So we have inputs and we have outputs, and it's kind of like a light bulb and a switch. All right. So if a light bulb is on, like the pain is on, okay, you want to turn it off at the switch. Most physical therapy, and the physical therapy that I was trained in, addresses the light bulb. They go and they press on the muscle or stretch the joint and do things to the light bulb. But it's a lot more effective if you can shut it off at the switch. And the switch is the brain telling that area to be tight or inflamed or painful.
I love that analogy because we met you yesterday at the Home of Hope at Gwinnett Children's Shelter Golf Classic at Lanier Island's Legacy Golf Course.
Yes.
And we had you on. We were doing live remotes, and we talked to you, and you brought up that light bulb reference, and I said, I love that because most people will go, what's wrong with this light bulb?
Yes.
And they're not thinking, well, it's back here. It's where the switch is.
Right.
So I like that a lot. It made it clear to me exactly how you treat your patients. When it comes to your patients, are they typically older folks? I mean, do you get some younger folks? Are they, middle-aged like us?
All right. So it's basically anyone who has pain, which is the whole range. There was one week that I had a 4-year-old and a 94-year-old in the same week. It's anybody who experiences pain, which is a human condition, and it affects all ages. Unfortunately. It's part of life. Most of us experience pain at some point. But it's the chronic pains, the ones that don't go away, that usually end up with me. Yeah. Because a chronic pain is different from just an acute pain, a short-term pain that stays around for a while. So it actually changes.
It's one thing to say, hey, I can treat anyone from 4 to 94. It's another thing to go, within 1 week, I saw a 4-year-old and a 94-year-old. So that's literally talking about the spectrum. What are some of the main conditions, or what are some of the conditions that people have had that have come in that have been able to find relief?
All right. So neck pain and low back pain are very common. A lot of people have hip pain, knee pain, foot pain, joints, hand pain, and so on. One of the things that I specialize in is the TMJ, the jaw pain, facial pain. That's tends to be quite a chronic condition that people have when they chew or as they're eating or clenching. And I treat headaches and migraines, and the conditions like fibromyalgia, which are chronic pain conditions, or reflex sympathetic dystrophy. These are just chronic pain conditions, and again, most physical therapists don't know what to do with these folk, and they try to get them out of their practice. And I welcome them because I can actually get results with them.
And so someone who's had one of these conditions, let's take something like back pain. They've been used to having people put heat packs, cold packs, get an MRI done, stretch this, tweak that, do that kind of stuff.
Right.
And with the light switch analogy,
yes,
if it's a back pain, you might not even be anywhere near the back.
Correct.
Is that what we're kind of talking about here?
That is
so. Without
correct.
giving away the proprietary secrets, I mean, is someone expecting that you're going to strap electrodes to their head, or it's manual with your hands? And
it's all manual therapy with my hands. And basically, the way I look at it is, let's say you have an injury. Okay, you have an injury to your back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's just the injury, and that will heal. That will heal in a matter of weeks. You can't stop the healing in the same way that if you cut your hand while you're cooking, that cut will heal itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, however, in many cases with back pain, people like 2 years, 5 years, 20 years after their initial injury, they're still in pain. So is it that it's not healed, or has something else happened?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that the healing has occurred. The healing happened a long time ago. But what has happened is the brain at the time of the injury has implemented a muscle guarding, has implemented an output to protect you. It's maybe tightened up all the muscles around the back, or maybe it's tightened up muscles in the front too, in your trunk, to prevent you from moving a certain way.
In the pooch area.
In the pooch area, exactly. And that holding pattern doesn't go away. Okay, so if you're in a holding pattern for a very long period of time, I tell people, how long can you hold up a cup of water? An hour, 2 hours. You certainly can't hold it up for 2 years or 8 years. It would be excruciating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but with this holding pattern of the body, it goes on for years, and unless somebody comes, behind you and releases that holding pattern, that pain is going to persist. It's going to become chronic pain.
Now, I think some people listening to this, the other thing that they're thinking is, okay, I've been dealing with this chronic pain, whatever it is, and I've maybe gotten some relief, but I've gone somewhere and it seems like I'm going to have to keep going forever. This was the other thing that came out of our interview at the Golf Classic. Your anticipation is that they don't see you for years and years and years, correct? Talk a little bit about typically what's some of the how fast will people see results? Not that there's any guarantees, but what have you been able to see in your practice?
Right. In my practice, within 4 or 5 visits, there is a permanent improvement. Okay. And that's in most of the cases, like you said, I cannot guarantee results for everyone. And in those cases, I say I'm not the person for you. There is a person out there.
It's
for
not
you.
the light switch. It's something else, right?
Exactly. But if it is the light switch, then the result is permanent, because it's kind of like if you do if let's say there's a light bulb that's on, and you do something to the light bulb, like put silver foil on it. Okay, you haven't actually turned it off. You made it dark, which you made it look like you turned it off, but you haven't actually turned it off. And what happens, I used to be a massage therapist, and I used to be a paramedic, and when I was a massage therapist, I would find a very tight muscle, and I would say, I know exactly what to do, and I would dig in and rub it and work it out, and it would feel soft. And then the person would come back after a day or two and say, well, that tightness, it all came back, and I didn't understand at that time why that was. It was turned out it's because I was treating the light bulb and I was not treating the switch. And now what I do is I don't actually go to that muscle. I do something to make the brain shut off that muscle, and then the result is a lot more permanent.
Mm-hmm. We're talking with Oren Barr, and he's with Rebalansing Health. And Oren, you've talked about your patients and helping them with neck pain and back pain. And I'm so glad you're here at Business RadioX, because I believe there's a lot of education that needs to go on with what you do, because a lot of folks I know that suffer from those injuries or pain or whatever, they're thinking, I need to go see a chiropractor,
mm-hmm.
not a physical therapist. How do you get people to understand that they really may need to see you, and it's not all about a chiropractor?
Right. So I would say this field of musculoskeletal pain, okay, is a crowded field. It's not only physical therapists who are in, and not only chiropractors, but you've got the orthopedic doctors, you've got osteopaths, you've got massage therapists, you've got acupuncturists, you've got a lot of different professions who have their finger in the pie. Okay, the main focus, though, of all of those professions is the body, the joints, the muscle. They're looking at what the ligament is doing, what the tendon is doing, what the joint is doing. They're looking at the periphery. And they're not including what the brain is doing, what the brain's contribution is to that scenario. So I say there's peripheralists, in other words, people who are looking at the outside, and then there's centralists. There's very, very few centralists. I'm one of them. Okay, so I don't rag on any profession, including my own, but it's just a matter, like you say, of education. If you're only looking at one half of the equation, you're only going to get half the results.
Right.
And if you want a complete result, you have to know both. You have to know what's going on in the body and also what's going on in terms of how is the brain interacting with the body.
Well, I think we're letting people know that there's other options out there, and people may not have thought about the physical therapist.
And I think Oren's acknowledging that it's not, I'm the only way. And I mean, people need to find what's going
what works
to
for
work.
them.
And the best part I like about what Oren is suggesting is it's not going to take a year. And then Oren goes, well, okay, we've done the best we can. I mean, he's going to be able, you're going to be able to tell quickly.
How would it work, Oren, if someone, like, I'm not sure who I need to see. Is there a consultation that you can do with them that doesn't cost anything, or how do I know that maybe you're my answer?
Yes, well, I always do a consultation first. It's the first visit, we do supply packages where the consultation is waived, during the consultation visit, I can immediately tell you if I can help you or not. But the other thing, like Stephen said, is I succeed relatively fast. 4 visits is relatively fast to succeed. But also, if I fail fast. So I don't like to waste anybody's time. If I see that I'm not getting anywhere, I tell people, right up front, this is not going to work for you. This is not helpful.
What about insurance? Is insurance something people can look into? Will their insurance cover it?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. I do not take any insurance. Okay, and the insurance business has a very interesting clause. They say we pay for what is usual and customary. That's an insurance term. I am not usual or customary. Okay, if you want usual and customary, there's plenty of people out there. I provide exceptional service and exceptional pain relief. So it's not covered by insurance. I do not work with any of the insurance companies.
And so easily at the very beginning in the consultation, you guys are going to talk about payment plans and setting it up. But again, here I come back to, you're quickly going to be able to tell them if you can or can't help them, and they're going to see results to where they're not going to go, man, am I going to be paying this fee for the next 5 years? It's something that can be reasonable. It's a reasonable cost for exceptional results. Ooh, I like that.
Oh, that was very good. I'll make a note of that.
You had the exceptional. That was the best word. I was going to ask a silly question. I haven't had one all show, right, Mike? So get the bell ready or get ready to fire me. So there's an old comedy routine about how, and you're not a doctor, you're a physical therapist.
Correct.
But there's an old comedy routine about doctors don't say pain, they say pressure. You're going to feel a little bit of pressure. Is someone gonna in dealing with the light switch and the light bulb? Do we need to expect a little bit of pressure in what you're doing?
Actually, because like we said before, I'm not working on the area that the person is experiencing the pain in, so it tends to be a very painless session.
Ooh.
Because I'm working in other areas of the body, and it's the brain that's shutting off the pain in the area where the person feels it.
Again, that's not a guarantee, and past performance is no guarantee of future results.
Right.
But if you're working in different areas of the body, there might not be a lot of pressure. I like that.
You're located, where is your office located?
It's in Buckhead.
Okay.
I'm 300 West Wyuka Road, Northeast. And that's in Buckhead, Atlanta.
So you're right there anywhere in the Metro Atlanta area. You're right there in the center. So
it's very easy to get
easy
to.
for folks to get to. The website for folks that want to look into this.
Okay. The website is stopthepain.now.site. SITE.
Stopthepain.now.site. I like that.
If he was a doctor, it'd be stop the pressure.
Right.
Not now. but-
Right, he's a physical
But he's
therapist,
a
so he
physical
can say stop the
therapist,
pain.
so- yeah, so-
Is there a phone number to call or anything?
Absolutely. It's 770-815-8512.
All right. And by the way, if you can't remember the website or whatever, and it's going to be up on our website where you're seeing this post, but the name of the company is Rebalansing Health, and you mentioned yesterday it's rebalancing with an S instead of a C.
Correct.
And why is that?
Because if you look at it, it has ANS, Rebalancing Health, and the ANS stands for the autonomic nervous system, because the autonomic nervous system is the involuntary nervous system that governs how we hold ourselves, the holding pattern. So I thought it was a key component of what I do, so I included it in the name.
And I pointed out a second thing yesterday when we had the interview.
What was that?
If you go to him, you're going to be singing SING after you have such relief from your pain.
Oh, okay. So you
like
said that. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Rebalancing. It's going
I-
to make me sing
sing.
if I go see Oren Barr.
I got you. Oren, thank you so much for joining us today, and you're doing great work.
Thank
I
you.
apologize for Stephen and some of the jokes.
What?
Give me some
You're the
good
one who went
marketing advice.
rebalancing health.
So I got the I got the stuff at the beginning,
And then
you,
I'm going to sing.
You focused on
At least-
the sing
yeah,
at the
least
end.
I didn't go rebalancing health.
And
That
balance
was-
in the
yeah,
middle there.
There you go.
With an S.
Exactly. Thank you, Amanda.
Yes. Oren Barr, again, Rebalancing Health. Want to thank you for joining us here on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And Molly Thompson, thank you for being very patient and putting up with us as well with Highlands at Sweetwater Creek. Want to thank all of our listeners. Want to remind you that you can listen to this show anytime you want by going to businessradiox.com, select the Gwinnett Studio, and click on Gwinnett Business Radio. We're also all over iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. There's a good chance. Just look up Gwinnett Business Radio. Subscribe to our show. We're there as well. And Amanda would hit me with a whip if I didn't remind folks to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, at Gwinnett Radio X.
Mike, you want to know something hilarious? You and I have been doing this show for a while, right? It's coming up on 8 years.
Couple weeks now. Oh, has it been?
Is it 8? Is it getting
I
8?
thought it was 2 weeks.
In
It's
2
been 8
weeks. Right.
years?
It's going to be close.
8 years, 2 weeks, about the same.
Yeah. So it's been a while. Do you know that when we were first doing our shows, which are still available on the archive at businessradiox.com, when our guests would give their contact information, it was always phone number. Now it's website, email, I mean, it's all these different, and they're all over
Social media.
It's social media.
Yeah, we didn't
it's
have
more
that,
about
yeah.
the social media. It was always phone number, and they would give a website, and they'd always go www. So now we've really come a long way, Mike, you and me.
Yeah, I tell people when they give their website, we don't need the www. We kind of
Like the
know
corner
that.
of my mind.
All right, want to thank
Whiskey,
Amanda for
water,
putting us on the air.
colored
Please end the show now. The singing,
of the way we
rebalancing.
were.
He really is singing. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time.